Scott Junn's balls are in Jen Denise's purse, bro. That's where they are. Jen Denise on Twitter fucking, alien needs nerfed, alien's not fun to fucking play against. Suck my dick. Fucking garbage. Alien's not fun to play against. We're still doing this? Like, come on. It stopped being funny 3 years ago, guys. This joke is old. Stop it. Get some help. Get some fucking help. Fog Whispers, yeah. Adds entitlement. It adds entitlement to some of that fucking player base. And then Scott Junn's like, I'm not in the Fog Whisperer program. I'm not in the Fog Whisperer Discord server. They have their own Discord server. Do you guys know that? And then Scott Junn's like, I'm not in the fucking Fog Whisperer Discord. Yeah, your fucking wife is. You don't think that I think that she's showing you everything that goes on there. Scott, I wasn't born yesterday. I may have been born, but I wasn't born yesterday. Evan's here, dude. Evan, check out this new killer, bro. Check him out. Check him out. We got that grid skin, bro. Predator basically has just been confirmed for Dead by Daylight. Y'all want to play some Alien? There's a dozen or so that drag. I don't know. I don't know, dude. I stay away from that shit. I stay away from that shit. I really do. Just fucking miserable, 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 brother. They overpriced it. Just get Grid, bro. Look at Grid. Look at my boy Grid. My man took out 2 Predators in 5 minutes, bro. Get this guy. The fucking, the probably the most powerful drone in the Alien canon. Get my boy, Grid. Don't be stupid. Get Grid. What tier do I have him in? Here's what I think. Alright, I'll say this. I'm about to take a break. So I think I'm going to be back in a couple hours. But probably around 11 or so. 11:30. I'm going to come back in a little bit. But here's what I'm going to say before I go. Character on paper. Okay. The amount of positive qualities that this character brings to the table. Numerous. Fast. Check. Lethality. Check. Fucking tracking, check. Like, he checks all the boxes. He checks all the boxes. Everything that you need to be good in Dead by Daylight, check, check, check. It's all there. It's all there. However, something ain't clicking. Something ain't clicking the way we all thought it was gonna click based on PTB footage. Something is not clicking, especially against Survive with Friends. Against Solo, he's a monster. Against Solo, he's a monster. Against Swift, something ain't clicking. And I think I know what it is. Okay? I don't want to talk, like, basically, the thing about the character is, the power, great. The tail is fine. 100%. Like, his lethality is okay. I don't think the lethality is the issue. Some people will be saying it's OP, some people saying it's weak. The answer's in the middle. There's some issues. It seems to actually prioritize environmental strikes over survivors sometimes. That can be a pain in the fucking ass. But there are a lot of times where you go, this power is really good. He hit at this tile. He gets the pallets down extremely fucking quickly. Like the respect. The survivors respect it. The fact that the survivors respect it tells you everything that you need to know. They're respecting it. They're dropping the pallets early. They're respecting it. There's something about the lethality that's working. Let me tell you what I think is the issue. Okay? The issue is the tunnels. Okay? It's not the action of going through the tunnel and walking around. Like, it's not that. That's fine. The movement speed is great. The power recovery rate is great. Everything's great. And it's not even turrets either. We'll deal with the turrets in a second. The issue is, in terms of this 4v1 game, when the character starts losing gens, he can lose pressure very, 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 very fast. You look at the rest of the roster. Okay? You have, obviously, Knight and Skull Merchant be the biggest two offenders here. They can basically keep the objective perma-locked down the entire game. The entire game, they can do that if you play them like an absolute son of a bitch. Okay? They can, and then there's characters like Wesker and Sadako that they're good for other reasons. Sadako obviously can insta-kill you. Wesker is just insanely lethal to the point where it's just unfair. You got all these different kinds of characters, but it's like the one thing I think every character on the roster kind of shares, and Alien has this too. If you can get a 3-gen in play, if you can get if you kind of make sure you're still not neglecting the 3-gen aspect of playing killer in general, I still think the character 3-gens. But we'll talk about 2-story maps in a second. But if you let the wrong gen fall, you'll notice that tunnel placement on some maps can be garbage. Garbage. And if the tunnel placement is garbage, they could have you try to pop up nowhere fucking near where you need to be. They could have you pop up because you have to come in and out of the tunnels. As much as the tunnels are great for navigation, you have to pop out of them to do something. You gotta pop out to do something. And if the place that you're popping out is fucking stroking, you're right. If the place you're popping out is fucking shit in the toilet bowl, you're not gonna be able to do much when you pop out, right? There are some maps that need tunnel spots. Like on our first game today, Yamaoka Family Residence. The entire right side of the map, 2 tunnels. On the entire right side. The left had a lot more, but here's what the thing, so it's like you have to kind of have to see where your tunnels are in relation to your gens to kind of figure out what gens you can't lose, okay? If that makes any sense. So if you lose the wrong gen early, you can get snowballed on by the survivors very, very fast. Other characters don't have that problem. If the Skull Merchant loses one of her 3 gens, if the Skull Merchant is doing active 3-gen pressure, she's kind of doing what she's supposed to be doing. If she's doing what she's supposed to be doing, if she loses one of her gens, part of playing Skull Merchant and doing active 3-genning is going, okay, they have fucking done this one. My next play is to recall the drone on this gen, fall back, secure my next spot. Right? That's what you're supposed to do with her. Alien can't do that because Alien can't move his tunnels. The tunnels are locked. They're locked in place. Knight can kind of do the same thing as Skull Merchant. And it's like, so it's like sometimes the tunnels just won't be getting used if you're trying to 3-gen. The tunnels don't help him 3-gen. The tunnels help him get from place to place quickly, but they don't really help him with board management. The tunnels do not help the character with board management. If you are not in advantage state, you're not in the tunnels. Or if you're just getting tons of lethal hits like we were before we just were doing against that Swift. We didn't use the tunnels much because we were on a small map getting hits over and over again. But it's like, do you see what I'm saying? I think that's what's off. The main method of transportation seems to be weak at board management. Whereas like Oni, when he's like, I'm like, it's not terrible. I must stress, it's not terrible at board management. You can get good at it, pop up where you need to pop up, make sure you're securing your gens, right? Yeah, you could still do all that. It's just not as good as you think it would be on paper. And then the last thing I'm gonna say, 2-story maps, forget it. 2-story maps, awful. I think here's what I think is happening in regards to 2-story maps. Okay, sometimes you will get a tunnel on one floor, the second or the first. It doesn't matter. You can get a tunnel on one floor that is close to a gen that is on the other floor. That tunnel is useless trash because it's nowhere near the gen that the game thinks it's near. I think there's something wrong with the RNG generation on the tunnels. You can get a tunnel that is by a gen, but it's not by a gen. It's not by a gen. Because it's really far away, but the game's algorithm is making it think it's by a gen, so on 2-story maps, you can just not have any way to get to people you need to get to. 2-story maps, forget about it. I think he's trash on 2-story maps. Overall, right now, I think the character is... My tier placement is B for the moment, which is generous. I think that's fine. I think that's right where he is right now. If they want to go through and fix some of the tail issues to make the lethality where it feels like it should be, kind of fix the tail and so it doesn't prioritize environmental strikes, that could push him up to A. But for right now, I'm going to say B. That's where I think he is. Very good against solos, crumbles against Swift, especially if they hit the right gens early. That's the TLDR. TCM has kind of lost players because they returned to DBD with the Alien chapter. I have not played TCM since Alien dropped. I will say that DBD seems to have gained players since Aliens dropped. I will say that.